It's winter up here in the north, and that means for a lot of people getting back into your favorite hobby at home. And for me, that's sim racing. Hey guys, it's Elliot. I'm back again after quite a while in a new space with a new setup. And today we're going to take a look at the AZRacing SVR cockpit. Now, this is a bit of an upgrade from what I was using before. I've used several of AZRacing's cockpits. I'm quite familiar with their range. And so I wanted to take a look at this offering. Way back, quite a few years ago when I first started sim racing, I had reached out and bought the AZRacing SV. Now this is basically taking everything that was successful about that model and just fine-tuning it as they've developed several other competitive options like the CS Pro, etc. So today we'll go over it, what it is, how much it costs, what it supports, and overall my impressions. So let's get into it. Now, a short background on me. I work for Simracing, so I have plenty of steering wheels and bases and things to try. But one thing that Simracing doesn't do is cockpits. So that's where AZRacing comes in. They're based in Shanghai. So for me, being based in China, but for anyone in Asia, it represents quite a good option. But that's not to say that if you're based in the States or anywhere else, that this couldn't be an option for you, but we'll get to that later. So what the AZRacing SVR represents is this elegant, sturdy, reliable option for somebody that doesn't want to go down the route of a full customized 80/20 rig. Now, I've actually used 80/20 rigs and I still use that to mount my 4 monitors in my existing new setup. But when it comes to the cockpit itself, I just wanted something elegant, looks nice, and I could rely on. And that's where the SVR comes in. As standard, you're getting a single frame that's ready to mount your pedals and your wheelbase. You'll have to pick out a seat. That's not to say that you have to use AZRacing's offerings, although I have to say I've tried most of their range and I'm pretty happy with what they offer. For me, I really just like their solid bucket seat option, so that's what I use. Once you've got the seat in place, good news, you can adjust it depending on how tall you are. You'll have the option to then attach the seat slider so that you can adjust it back and forth. And then you'll want to mount your wheelbase and your pedals. When it comes to the wheelbase, they've made quite a smart design decision, which is you have this white plate that is pre-drilled. That means it's going to support the majority of wheelbases out there on the market. So using anything from a Logitech to a Moza or a Simracing, you're going to be covered there. Simply screw it from the underside and you've got it mounted. Wire it up, good to go. There's a nice touch here as well. All of their designs and their tubing have holes so that you can thread your wiring through. So if you're someone who really wants the setup to look clean, you've got that option as well. Now, I'm the type of sim racer where I don't really settle on a single discipline. I like my accessories, I wanted everything mounted, and so I have opted to use their extension arm. This is a really nice feature on the SVR and something they didn't have before. So it's a long arm that gets slotted on the right side of the cockpit, and then the way that they've drilled holes, you're able to seamlessly adjust it and mount your accessories wherever you want them. Now, what accessories am I using? So I've actually got a couple on my arm. I have a shifter handbrake mount. So this is an all-in-one solution. Just sits up and then lets you freely mount your shifter and your handbrake on the same plate. I've then got a cup holder, optional, nice touch, I like it. And then I finally got a mounting arm for my button box. So I really wanted the setup to be an all-in-one thing. I've got everything that, in theory, I should have all covered off with the SVR, and it's all there. When it comes to the pedals, there's a pre-fitted plate, which does offer some adjustments. You're also free to buy the pedal slider if you'd like, so that not only adjusting the seat, you're able to also freely adjust the pedals as well. My situation, I didn't feel like I needed it, so I'm just got the pedals mounted as standard, and I'm pretty happy. Once everything's in place, I'll add a few shots here, but I think they speak for itself. The SVR is a very premium looking rig. I opted for an all black design, excluding their accessories and their plate, which only come in white. It'd be nice if they came in black, but what are you going to do? Everything lines up really well. During assembly, I've had no issues with things that didn't fit. Everything is pre-drilled and it's super clear, especially mounting the base plate and getting the wheelbase onto the rig. Good machining and finish. There's no real sharp edges here or anything that I felt was lacking in quality. Again, once it's in place, and you've got some nice extras, like I have the keyboard and mouse rig, I've got the mat underneath. I just think it looks really good. It's a really clean, sleek looking setup, and that's exactly what I wanted. In terms of driving and feel, I am using direct drive, very high range equipment, a base that's over 20 Newton meters on this rig. Arguably, I would say not needed, but for me, I just wanted to test it to the absolute limit. AZRacing say it can handle up to 38. I've had no issues with flex or shake. I'm running this quite high on iRacing or in rally. Especially with someone who is doing rallycross and someone that wants to quickly yank the handbrake or slam down through the gears, I do need to feel like I'm in this rig, I can thrash it as much as I need, and that is what the AZRacing SVR is doing. It's something that lets me immerse myself even more, because I feel like I can really push this frame and push my equipment to the limit, and it's not going to give up on me, or it's not going to shake and flex or make noise. So for me, that's awesome. That's a requirement when you're upgrading to this kind of rig, is it needs to feel like I can really push it like a real vehicle. So for that, awesome, 10 out of 10. Ultimately, you might be wondering, who is this for? So I say this with nearly every video I do from AZRacing. This represents the step up, is what I call it. So if you're someone who's tried sim racing, really got into it, you went down the rabbit hole, maybe you've either got your wheel mounted on a desk, or you have a foldable rig, you have a single stand that holds your base and your pedals, this is meant to be that step up. Now, the price range for this one is a little higher than some of their other entry-level offerings. This is meant to be that kind of sleek, standalone statement piece. So this one comes in at $749. But AZRacing do offer some really nice cheaper alternatives, with like the CS Pro starting from $349. And for me, these just represent a really nice competitive option that maybe some people haven't heard of. I think cockpits in general, there's a couple of very well-known names out there like Track Racer or Sim Lab, and I feel like, especially for my friends based in Asia like me, this is an option that people should be considering. They're pretty competitive, they're very well built, very trusted, and if there's ever anything that you need to customize, AZRacing being the manufacturer, they're very happy to kind of adjust or make changes. So for me, that's awesome, and that's something that I really appreciate. So overall, for my new setup, my intention was to have something which is almost my end game rig. I'm missing a few things, and it's clear based on my setup that I've been fishing for a few cheap things off the market. I've got a wind simulator, I've got my bezel removers, and one of them is a little broken. But I didn't want to compromise on the rig. I didn't want to compromise on the screens, and I haven't. And I can say, without a doubt, that is something that I've been extremely happy with, is having a cockpit which just delivers time and time again. It offers that immersive experience that I'm after. In terms of future upgrades or what the next set might look like, I would love to go look at a belt tensioner, smart lighting, or doing like I've seen some awesome designs for like a cockpit roof that kind of removes any excess light. So these are all things to think about and projects. But in terms of the cockpit itself, my setup going into 2026, I'm using my AZRacing SVR, I've got my Simracing gear, I'm happy, and I hope that I will see you out on track if you're someone who's looking to get into the hobby or upgrade your cockpit. Any questions, do just ask. Happy to help anytime, and of course, thank you for watching.